and my stick drift, like, look, absolutely zero stick drift whatsoever, and yet I still have the most responsive stick. That's literally insane, chat. It's basically cheating, bro. Before the video starts, I want every single person that's hearing my words to go down in the comments and let me know whether or not you think using Hall effect joysticks and paddles is cheating due to the fact that it gives a competitive edge over all of your enemies. Alright, once I got that done, I just want to make a little disclaimer. I am partnered with the controller brand. This is not a sponsored video. They're not paying me to make this video. However, I do get paid for every single controller I sell. I do have a 7% discount link, which is in the description, or you can use code Mizery at checkout. However, they gave me full freedom in what I could say in this video, so I'm not going to be unnecessarily meat riding them. Alright, with that out of the way, let's get into why I believe that these controllers are edging the line of a competitive advantage and pretty much cheating. Enjoy. Alright, so obviously today is going to be a different kind of video, and I really don't want this video to feel like a product placement because it genuinely is not. I'm giving my honest feedback and telling you guys why exactly I believe these controllers are genuinely like built well. So we're going to cover 4 main points as to where I believe that these controllers excel in comparison to all the competition, and at the very end we're going to be doing essentially a feedback on where the controllers lack, just in case you want to purchase it and you want to know that as well. So the very first point that I want to bring up is the paddles. I want you to ask yourself, how many paddles is too much? 2? 4? 6? How about 8? Yeah, you heard me right. These controllers come with customizable paddles up to 8. 2 paddles up top, 1, 2, 3 on the back each side. They come with customizable caps. The biggest complaint that I've ever gotten on my page whenever I make settings videos, movement guides, anything like that is, Mizery, my hands are too small, I don't want to play claw. Okay, great. Buy a controller that has paddles. Mizery, all those controllers don't have enough paddles. They simply don't have enough paddles for me to keep my fingers on the joysticks at all times, which, as you guys know, is the biggest tip I've always given you guys. If you want to improve on movement and aim, always keep your fingers on the joysticks at all times. However, I was told by the CEO himself that this controller brand was made for gamers like that. The CEO is a gamer who has the exact same issues that you guys have, not having enough paddles in order to play at high competition levels like everybody else. Now with this brand, you no longer have to sacrifice your health, which, let's be honest, using claw can sometimes be pretty detrimental to your finger health if you want to get that competitive edge that everybody else has. The paddles are very, very nice. They feel good to the touch. Obviously, I'm so used to claw, I just got the normal controller with the 2 paddles. However, they did send me out this controller with the 8 paddle version. I don't have any of the caps on because we're getting ready to give this controller away to one of you guys. If I was a controller player that did not want to play with any kind of claw or anything like that, the way it lines up with my hands is absolutely perfect. I get to use the bumpers whilst also using the top paddles, and the same goes for the back paddles. It feels great. It's literally perfect if you don't want to play claw. And you still want to get that competitive advantage. Obviously, I didn't want to partner with this controller brand just because of that. There is a very particular reason that I decided to partner with them, and it's pretty selfish, actually. I'm not going to lie to you guys. As you guys know, I play gyro, and when I didn't play gyro, I was playing just normal controller. I always preached that a little bit of stick drift was no issue. However, since I switched to gyro, I've completely left that ideology in the past. It's still fine if you're on normal controller to have a little bit of stick drift. However, if you're on gyro, and this comes from Ecstasy himself, so you know it's true, if you're on gyro, any sort of stick drift is going to absolutely kill your aim, and that is why I needed to find a controller that had Hall effect joysticks. Now, I cannot tell you exactly why, because it is proprietary. How do I say that word? It is proprietary, and I don't even know how, but they have a proprietary feature to their Hall effect joysticks that ensure that there's absolutely zero issues with stick drift. I was told by the CEO himself that once they developed it in 2022, they still haven't had a single controller that had actual stick drift issues, because you can constantly recalibrate the Hall effect joysticks to ensure you have zero stick drift whatsoever. I'll even prove it in game. If I go to my controller settings, I'm still on 0% dead zone. If I go over to my Steam, you'll see it's still 0% dead zone even in Steam. So 0% dead zone all around. Look for yourself. Is there any dead? There's literally zero. There's no stick drift whatsoever. I'm still able to use the joystick and have all of those you know, crazy moments on gyro. And if you don't share my ideology on normal controller gameplay and having stick drift on it, then this is for you. I mean, if you want to play low dead zone and still have no stick drift, this controller's for you. I was told I might get in a little bit of trouble for saying this, but in about 3 weeks, they're going to be ordering some default Hall effect joysticks, the ones that they didn't develop, so they are a little bit cheaper, just in case the upgraded price point is a problem with you. But I'm telling you right now, by experience, I've been playing on this roller for about 2-ish weeks now, and having no stick drift, especially while playing on gyro, is genuinely insane. I cannot say it enough. It's genuinely insane. I said I wasn't gonna meat ride them, but dude, it feels like I am. And so I want you guys to know, like, I can show you the DMs, bro. Like, the CEO literally told me I can say whatever I want about it, make it as authentic as possible, because they don't want to be like all these other controller brands that tell their creators what to say, how to say it. They don't want to restrict that freedom of speech that, you know, creators should have, in my opinion. And that's another point of why I decided to partner with them. They're really, really cool people overall. It doesn't even feel like I'm working with the company, to be honest. It feels like I'm just working with friends. So, you know for a fact the customer service is absolutely insane. Dude, again, this just feels like an ad. It's not supposed to be an ad, chat. It's not supposed to be an ad whatsoever. I'm gonna shut up. I'm just gonna move on to the next topic. Okay, the mouse clicks, chat. The mouse clicks. I'm gonna shut up for like 2 seconds. This is like the most quiet you're ever gonna hear me. I'm gonna shut up for 2 seconds. I'm just gonna let you listen. You may think you just heard a mouse. What if I told you that was my controller? That's right. Mouse clicks on controller. Obviously, a lot of controller brands have this feature. However, they have the most durable and responsive out of all the controller brands I've ever played with. It makes super jumps absolutely a breeze. It makes mantle jumps a breeze. It makes pretty much all movement text an absolute breeze, and which is just genuinely like I need that, chat, because if you guys don't know this, I don't really play the game too much more. Like, type 1 if you relate in the comments. I'm not live right now, so I don't know, I'm saying type 1, but I don't really play the game too much anymore. So any kind of competitive edge I can get, I'm gonna take. And this controller offers a lot of them, mouse clicks just being one of them. Now for my gyro players, if you play on gyro, or if you don't even play on gyro and you just use your touchpad, like the swipe feature for anything regarding your controller, this is another touch point that I want to touch on, and it's the touchpad. A lot of touches. Sorry. Pretty much their touchpad, if I still have it somewhere around here, I believe it's in here. No, it's up here. So this is the default PS5 Edge, and you'll see the touchpad has like a texture to it, which in theory is pretty cool, you know. However, if you are any kind of gamer that uses the swipe feature to, you know, tap strafe, to super jump, literally anything, the texture will actually end up like slowing you down in your swipes, and it'll end up like if you have any kind of moisture on your fingers, if it's dirty at all, or even just like sometimes if everything's perfect, you'll still notice like a little bit of drag. This does not have that. This has perfectly smooth touchpads, which are extremely responsive. Dude, again, this just feels like one big ad. I'm not trying to make it sound like that. Like, I said I wasn't gonna like meat ride them, but I feel like I honestly am. Chat, if I'm meat riding, please let me know in the comment section. Say, yes, Mizery, you were meat riding the crap out of them. I'm just genuinely passionate about this controller. I don't want to make this sound like it's, you know, one big ad, but I'm like genuinely passionate about this controller because it's good. It's not like the other ones. Alright, and now as for the cons, I have two main cons I want to talk about. Neither of them are really deal breakers, but I just want to, like, you know, get my opinion out there so you guys know that I do have, you know, some tiny issues with this controller. One of which is the paddles, especially the 2-paddle version and 4-paddle version. They come a little tight. Nothing that, you know, just playing the game and breaking it in is gonna fix, but it was definitely a strange transition from my normal DualSense PS5 controller, which feels a bit more like a trigger for its paddles, in comparison to this controller, which feels more like a, you know, actual button. So I definitely did have to, you know, relearn how to hit the paddles properly. And once they broke in, it was pretty much back to normal. That could be a good thing for some of you guys. Some of you guys might like the stronger paddles so you don't misclick or anything like that. But for me personally, that was just something that I found a little bit not to my taste, essentially. But again, after like a week or two of playing, not only did I get used to it, but the controller also broke in. So we're back to normal pretty much. And then my other complaint is, since they are still a new company, some items and some colors are out of stock for certain things. I mean, that's just kind of how you have to deal with, like, you know, a new company. So if you're at checkout and, you know, you want like a certain color and it's not available, I apologize beforehand. Obviously, you know, it's still a new company. They're still getting their stock in. They're, you know, still just starting up. So don't really get too mad about it. But I've definitely gotten complaints from my Twitch chat for people that wanted to buy one, but they couldn't get the right, you know, color or something like that. So those are really my only 2 complaints. Everything else is really, really good on this controller. So yeah, let's head out to the outro. I really recommend them, chat. If you're in the market for a PS5 controller, they're currently developing their Xbox controller line. But if you're in the market for a PS5 controller, then Get a Grip Gaming is definitely for you. Again, use code Mizery at checkout if you want a 7% discount. There's no other Apex players with that amount of discount currently. So, you know you're getting the best deal with me. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you guys check out my Twitch. Hit the like button, helps me out a lot. I just wanted to get out here and give my thoughts on this controller. Appreciate you guys. Peace.